Hello, my name is Anya Lotz, and today I'm going to be doing my voice exam.
I knew the goal would never give up a child. I knew before I asked. That's the sort of deal you make when you're young and naive and facing execution. The thought of a child is so far away. It's an easy thing to give up. But I asked her anyway, knowing that she would say yes then and no later. Oh wow, she wept when I came to collect. How the tears fall over the poor sweet babe. Oh. How she begged and pleaded that I spare him, release him from the promise she made. I thought the guessing game was a nice touch. It kept her busy for a few days and gave her hope. All the while I was busy. I baked and I cleaned and I made sure the Queen's messenger overheard me singing the naming song in the deep dark woods. She was so proud when she guessed that name. The triumph in her voice. The relief in her eyes. I put on a show, and she ate it up like porridge just at the right temperature. How? I screamed. How did you guess that name? I stomped and I ripped and I shouted. I believe there was spittle, and I'm certain my face turned red, and then I left. I went to my clean cottage. It smelled of fresh bread, and I waited. The child was not yet walking by the time the whole kingdom knew of the twisted man in the deep woods, and the clever queen who outsmarted him. The young princeling. He heard the story at his mother's knee, and saw daily the huge dent in the floor I left when I stomped my foot in rage. Servants and peasants will watch him pass and whisper about the boy who had been saved. At first it was enough that the story was about him and that it had a happy ending. He had joined the intention like any child would. He would demand to hear the story, and when his mother reached the end of the guessing name game, the prince would yell out, "Rumpelstiltskin!" I opened my forest home and I smiled. Oh, because soon he began to wonder. "Why, Mama?" he asked. "Why did the strange little man want me?" The queen had no answer. No. And the older he grew, the more it ate at him. Why had I asked for him? I could have had treasure, powers, half the kingdom. Had I desired it, why did I want this small little babe? The prince was a handsome enough child, but his curiosity kept him inside, scouring ancient and dark tombs when he should have been outside learning swordplay and horsemanship. The riddle of his importance drove him to long conferences with grizzled soothsayers and dreary mystics and the witches that reeked of the potions they brewed. I believe he would have been a good king, had not the mystery grounded him until he was grown in mind and body as the ancients he communed with daily. He was passed over when his father chose an heir, but he didn't care. No, not the curious young prince. 20 years had gone by, and he had no more answers than when he was a bright-eyed babe. So he put his mind to a new pursuit. Finding me. He rode away one foggy gray morning, and his mother wept, for she knew she would never see him again. I think she finally realized the truth. I had taken her child after all. And he found me. I let him. He stood in my cottage, as twisted and ugly as I, dripping swamp water on my floor. And he asked his question. Why? Consider this your first lesson, I said. Any common thug can get what they want. The pleasure is in getting the prey to come to you.
His eyes gleamed as he saw the
Words of promise, of power, of knowledge, the joy of the chase, and I had him. He was mine. Any cut-rate sorcerer can make beauty of dross. The real magic stood before me. A prince became a monster. Gold spun down to straw.